this exploration, we will travel by water along the eastern shoreline of Maury Island from Portage to Point Robinson and beyond. Portage has historical significance as a location of Native American longhouses, as well as the site of the first car ferry service to the island. Unfortunately, the old Portage store is no longer in operation, and the exercise bikes once found here removed. But at low tide, a beautiful, wide, sandy beach is exposed for more than a mile. It's a great place to find moon snails, crabs and geoducks, to splash with your dog, or even ride your horse. The view north from the shore is grand, and the view onto the island from the water is reminiscent of Maine. Only from the water are you able to see this bright St. Elmo's Church tucked into the hillside above Luana Beach. At the easternmost point of Maury Island is Point Robinson Light Station. The tower is 38 feet tall, with a fully automated radar and fifth-order Fresnel lens. Captain Joseph Wubbold, U.S. Coast Guard Captain retired, wrote this loving tribute to the light. I have relied on lighthouses all over the world for my professional life as a cutter captain in the Coast Guard. So it was only natural that when I first moved to Vashon 20 years ago, I became involved with a group working to fulfill the terms of the new lease between the Coast Guard and the Vashon Park District for Point Robinson Light Station. It took a while for me to appreciate the impact the light would have on our island community. More than just an old building, it soon became a place of refreshment, reflection, recollection, and renewal. Over the years, as we renovated and restored the keepers' houses, we hosted many events and ceremonies there that marked life's milestones for all of us. Christenings and weddings, as well as memorial services. The most poignant events honor people who have worked on the lighthouse. The most special events are those that include our children. The flag at Point Robinson flies 24 hours a day and is lit at night with a floodlight. It flies in honor of all of us who have served in the military, those now serving, and those who would come behind us. The whole island knows that is why the flag is always free there and no one would touch it. Point Robinson Light has a characteristic flash pattern repeated no place else in Puget Sound. It flashes twice in quick succession and then goes dark for 10 seconds. When you are flying into SeaTac on final approach, you see those two flashes down below, and you know that you are truly home. The park is a favorite place for kite flying and beachcombing, especially during the annual Low Tide Festival. The festival opens with a welcoming of representatives of the Puyallup tribe and focuses on sharing the wonders of beach life with all. Frequently, in winter, crowds of islanders will flock to the point to watch pods of orca swim past. Carla Pryne shares her story titled A Vashon Moment. Walking in Lower Gold Beach, we spotted a mature bald eagle landing on a tree just ahead. It seemed this eagle had an awfully large head, as there was a very large shock of white near the top of the tree. As we drew closer, we saw why. There were two eagles side by side surveying the shore and the sound, motionless except for the occasional tilt of those great heads. We were pretty much spellbound. Another woman joined us and looked up to where we pointed, and after a few moments, she put into words what my friend and I were feeling. It's so beautiful, it makes my heart ache. Vashon moments happen a lot. This island is a place where it's not uncommon for people to point at something that breaks their hearts with delight. Sometimes what stops us may be something considered rare. More often, though, it's something commonplace. Your neighbor's goat with its head turned just so. A mare galloping across the pasture. Wind and light catching her mane and tail. A young buck strolling along the tide flats at Tramp Harbor. We share these moments of joy and acclamation, and in so doing, we encourage each other in their wider work of healing the planet, the commons of life we share with all who live on this blue-green pellet, bright in a very large universe. The island is full of folks who cherish each Vashon moment and who work hard to protect these lands from development. Frank Jackson shares his story of political action on the shore below this point. It was the fourth grader that had the most impact on me. Focused and determined, she testified before a room full of adults and officials from the Army Corps of Engineers that a permit for the proposed Glacier Northwest sand and gravel mine on Maury Island should not be granted. Hers was essentially a whales are more important than dollars plea. Dozens of others, including many local leaders and ardent activists, all presented compelling cases for denying the permit. Months later, the Army Corps announced their decision to grant the permit. From that point on, there wasn't a snowball's chance in hell that the glacier mine could be stopped. Still, many months later, it was my image of that fearless fourth grader that had my wife and me finding black umbrellas and black sweatshirts and heading to a protest on the beach by the glacier site. Ever-creative islanders had master photographer Ray Fortner in the sky and a motley assemblage of islanders arranged as a slightly deformed orca on the beach below. In August of 2009, our communal efforts were rewarded. A federal judge threw out the gravel mine permit. I'm down there somewhere, a small bent black umbrella amongst other islanders who together care about this place and how it is left for our kids and grandkids. After years of fundraising, protests, court rulings, and community action, development was halted, the land purchased, and turned into a King County park. But, as you will see in the next part of our exploration, Maury Island is more than just gravel.